Once upon a time, in the ancient and bustling city of Persia, there ruled a mighty king named Shahryar. He was feared by all and respected for his power, yet deep within his heart there lay a sorrow that no treasure or jewel could heal. Not long ago, the king had discovered the cruel betrayal of his queen. The woman he had trusted, the woman he had loved, had been unfaithful. From that day forth, the king's heart hardened. He vowed never to trust another woman again, and in his anger and grief, he passed a decree so terrible that the people of his kingdom trembled. Every day he would marry a new woman, and every night he would have her executed. The streets of the city grew silent, for fear had settled over the land like a dark shadow. Families hid their daughters, whispers spread in the marketplace, and the once joyful halls of the palace were now filled with dread. Yet in the midst of this darkness, a spark of hope remained, in the form of a clever and courageous young woman named Scheherazade. Scheherazade was the daughter of the king's trusted vizier. She had grown up listening to tales of heroes, jinn, magical lamps, and faraway lands. Her mind was sharp and her heart brave. When she learned of the king's cruel plan, she made a bold decision. She would marry the king herself. Her father begged her not to, for surely this was a path to death, but Scheherazade was determined. She promised her father that she had a plan, one that could save not only herself, but countless other women in the kingdom. On the night of her wedding, Scheherazade entered the king's palace with grace and confidence, her eyes filled with wisdom beyond her years. The king, as expected, gazed upon her with suspicion and wrath, for he believed that all women were deceitful. Yet Scheherazade did not falter. She had a secret weapon far stronger than swords or armor, the power of a story. As night fell and the stars twinkled over the city, Scheherazade began to speak. Her voice was gentle, yet commanding, weaving a tapestry of words that drew the king in. She told him of faraway lands, of kings and queens, of merchants and travelers, of magic carpets that soared above deserts, and treasure hidden deep within mysterious caves. But as her tale reached the most thrilling moment, she paused. Her eyes met the king, and she said softly, "Oh, my lord, I shall continue this story on the morrow, for it is long, and you deserve to hear it in its entirety." The king, unable to resist the suspense, found himself intrigued. For the first time in many nights, his heart stirred, not with anger, but with curiosity. He spared her life, not knowing that he had just begun a journey unlike any other. Night after night, Scheherazade told stories, tales of adventure, of love, of courage and cleverness. She told of kings who were betrayed and heroes who triumphed, of magical creatures that granted wishes, and of seas and skies that shimmered with mystery. Every story ended with suspense, leaving the king eager for the next night, and gradually his heart softened. And so it was that Scheherazade's wisdom and bravery transformed the palace. Fear gave way to wonder, cruelty gave way to patience, and darkness was replaced by the magic of storytelling. She had found a way to turn the king's wrath into fascination, to use her voice as a shield, and her imagination as a sword. Thus began the legendary 1001 Nights, a treasure trove of stories where magic, adventure, and wisdom intertwined, all because a brave young woman dared to tell a story, and ended it just before the most thrilling part. And so, dear listener, remember this. Sometimes, a story has the power to change even the hardest of hearts, and to save lives when courage alone is not enough.